Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I will be going through what I believe are the top 5 players at each position. That's primary position only, because if I didn't do it that way, I would probably just have the same 20 players just wiggled around different positions, and I didn't want to do that. So I'm stuck with primary position only. Number 2, this is obviously my own personal biased opinion. I'm speaking from my experience playing this game, and I'm not the best player. I'm not claiming to be the best player. Again, take this with a grain of salt. It's only my opinion at the end of the day. And lastly, this list is based on just meta chasing, for lack of a better term. This is if you just want to sweat and try hard every single rank game that you play. Quickly, before we begin, I forgot to mention that I will include timestamps in the description. So if you're looking for a specific position, you can just go ahead and use those. And finally, that I will be showing off what I believe is the best team at the end of the video, what I'm currently rocking for the Weekend Classic this week. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it. Catchers, and I do have an honorable mention here, Mike Napoli. You're going to start to notice a pattern or a trend once we get into the video. But I think people would have freaked out if I didn't include this card because he looks insane. Honestly, great attributes, especially versus lefties. We're in a very heavy lefty meta right now for pitchers and even relievers. I believe the best relievers are left-handed. But Mike Napoli, he crushes them. The only problem is his swing. I don't think he has a very good swing. But other than that, that's the only downside to him. I mean, if you're an all-star, you can afford him and you enjoy him. Maybe you're an Angels fan or a big Mike Napoli fan. This guy should be your catcher. He's going to be great on all-star, on Hall of Fame. I don't know about that, but he has the stats. So if you can make it work with his swing, I think he's a very viable option at catcher, definitely. So let's just get into our 5 players here. So catcher, I believe there's only 3 positions where there's just a player that's so far ahead of everybody else, and catcher is one of those. Obviously, Cal Raleigh. If you did not watch my previous video where I debuted the Big Dumper, I collected him, debuted him on an online ranked game. I went on a little rant at the beginning of the video. I was talking about how people were just complaining about how he's not the best catcher because his defense and his arm sucks. And I will just touch on this a little bit here. So if you want to skip, I have timestamps. So if you're looking for a specific position, just go ahead and use those. So with the Big Dumper, I don't care if my opponent steals 5 bases every game on me if I'm hitting at least a home run every game. I think that's just 10 times more valuable. I don't care if it's only a solo shot. I don't care if I go 1 for 4, 1 for 3, only hitting 1 home run, and my opponent just gets pretty much a double every time he gets on base. I really don't care about that, and that's me from speaking from a meta perspective. I really don't believe that you're going to be in a scenario or a situation where, let's say you're in the bottom of the 9th, you're the away team, your opponent just got a shitty hit, he hit a single, he's on first, and he pinch runs for a high 90 speed player with good stealing attributes. You're saying, oh well, I'm fucked, right? Like, he's immediately on second. If he gets another bloopy single, he wins the game. Yeah, and for that, I would say you didn't hit well enough with Cal Raleigh. Like, you just didn't play good enough. And obviously, I mean, I'm talking like I know the everything that happened on that game, and obviously I did not. Like, I'm speaking like this is a 2-2 game in the bottom of the 9th, when this may very well be a 9-9 game in the bottom of the 9th. But, like, let's be honest, how often are you going to be in a position like that? I don't think that's a very common scenario. If anything, I think you're just due to give up a home run, not a single. I mean, that's from my experience, and I've hit shitty, scammy home runs to walk it off. My opponent has hit uh, fluky home runs against me in the bottom of the ninth. We know how the ball just gets juiced for that inning, bottom of the ninth. So I don't think that scenario is very, um, very very realistic. So I would much rather just hit home runs with a card. But hey, that's just my opinion. Like I said, this is 100% biased. Santana, he's still relevant to this day. That just shows you how switch hitters run this game. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you what I believe is the best starting lineup in the game. That's up to you if you want to copy it. So Santana, he's relevant because one, he's a switch hitter, and two, he masters lefties. He's one of the only switch hitters that's going to do better against lefties, and his stats are insane. His stats versus lefties look mediocre in this part of the game cycle, but those stats are lying. Like, he has much better stats than that. He's just glitched. He's just one of those players that plays above his stats. Veritek, again, another switch hitter, better defensively than both of Santana and Raleigh, and he hits better against lefties. So you're starting to see a team here. Adley Rutschman, he's like the poster child of the casual player, I'd say, because they look the stats. He's very balanced. 100 contact against both sides, which is kind of like the threshold, in my opinion, at this point of the game. 90 plus power, switch hitter, is going to play good defense. He can actually throw some people out on the bases sometimes. But the only problem is he's a push hitter. If you don't know what that means, is you're going to get jammed on inside pitches. So if you struggle hitting an inside fastball, especially an outlier fastball, don't use this card. You're going to get eaten alive. Obviously, that's only if your opponent realizes you cannot touch that. Push hitters, they have smaller timing windows on inside pitches. So you're going to struggle with getting those higher exit velos. Will Smith, pretty much perfect, I would say. Maxed out contact against both sides, maxed out clutch. I believe like 110 power versus lefties, over 90 plus power versus righties. He has an amazing swing. He has catcher pop time, so if you care about that, he's a righty that matches lefties, fits perfectly the meta. And his swing is great, and honestly, realistically speaking, the only righty that you're going to be facing consistently is Roger Clemens. Other than that, I really wouldn't worry about any other starting right-handed pitcher. And Will Smith, I don't think he's going to struggle against Clemens because he just has the swing. Let's move on to first base here. First base is a very, very weak position in my opinion. These guys only made it here because of default, pretty much. You will see my team at the end of the video, and I think if you consume MLB show content on a regular basis, you're going to see that a lot of the top players run out of position players, or on at least the secondary. They're using Santana, they're using Bergman. Some of them still use Gil Hodges, which I think primary position, he is the best first baseman in the game. He's the only 99 first baseman in the game, but I believe we are truly missing a big 99 player here. Gil Hodges, slappy swing, so if you like hitting doubles and singles, he is your guy. He has amazing stats once you get him to parallel 5. He's a righty that matches lefties. He fits the meta. His swing is not great, it's not bad, and he's going to be fine. Vlad Jr., I know I shitted on this card and I said that Chase Pack was better on my tier list video, but I've come around, and he matches lefties, and that's really all I care about these days. The swing is amazing, Vladdy swing. His stats against righties are not ideal, but again, you're not going to see a righty that often. Frank Thomas, matches lefties. Pretty much perfect card versus lefties. Only problem is the swing. If you can tolerate his swing, then you can use this card, and you can platoon this guy, and no other better option than Matt Olson. I love Matt Olson's swing. I've always loved his swing. He has amazing stats. Very balanced card again. Defense, you don't care about defense on first base. So yeah, you can platoon these two guys if you want to. If not, you can just run whoever you want, honestly. And Freddie Freeman is only here because he's very easy to run the Dodgers boost. You can use Freddie Freeman. You can throw Blake Trinan on your bench. You can easily use 12 Dodgers players without damaging your lineup, and you're going to get a nice little boost. Pretty sure this Freddie Freeman gets up to over 90 plus power against both sides with good solid contact. Pretty sure maxed out clutch too. So he's a great option if you can hit lefty and you don't mind that. We move on to second base. I just wanted to give a shout out to my man Brandon Lau here. Perfect against righties. If you're facing Clemens, if you're facing, I don't know, Felix Bautista at the end of the game, you can pinch hit with this guy. He's perfect. He's the perfect bench bat in my opinion. Perfect lefty bench bat, obviously. So second base, top 5. This is one of the positions where the best player is just so far ahead of everybody else, and it's obviously Marte. I was hesitant to buy this card at first, but I had to. I bought him first day for 340,000 stubs, which I was really. At the time back then I wasn't sure I made the right decision, because I was matching with Bobby Grich. I was hitting like 500 with Bobby Grich, and he was amazing for me. It was very hard for me to move on from him, especially because I really struggled with that live series card from Cattell. I was hitting like 190 to a point where I had to stop using him. I run in Joan Moncada for a long time until Bobby Grich came out. But I'm hitting 440 with this Cattell. He hits bombs. He's going to play good defense. Once you get him to P5 defense, it's not bad. But before that, he's going to make some errors, get some bad animations, very weak arm. But he's going to match for you, so you don't really care about that in a position like second base. Bobby Grich, already talked about it. I think he's your second best option. I know he's a righty, but he has reverse splits, so you don't have to worry about that. He actually hits better against righties. And again, realistically, the only sweaty player that you're going to face is Clemens. And versus lefties, you have the handedness advantage. Brendan Donovan, he only makes it here because he's the super utility guy. So if you cannot afford Cattell, if you cannot afford Bobby Grich, if you cannot afford Trey Turner, he's an amazing. Pretty sure he's the captain, right? So he's free. He's very easy to get if you're a big Cardinals fan. He is the perfect utility guy. He's one of the best bench pieces. If you do not have a God squad and you need to pinch it, you can pinch it for whoever you want. And this guy can play everywhere with good defense. So he's super valuable, in my opinion. Very high contact. Gleyber Torres sucks on the field. He's going to be terrible for you, but that swing will definitely make up for it. So again, you're seeing a theme here. If you're just going to match, I don't care that you're mediocre to below average to terrible defender, as long as you can make. If you get 5 balls hit at you and you make 4, I'm fine with that. Trey Turner, super fast, amazing swing. He matches lefties. He fits the meta. He has the swing that a lot of people enjoy. So I think he still cracks the top 5. I think it's insane how quickly he became irrelevant. But at the point we are at the game, doesn't really surprise me. We go to third base here. Third base, I do have a couple honorable mentions here. Alex Bregman, I was so close to putting him over Scott Rowland in the top 5, but I just couldn't do it at the end of the day. He has a much better swing. His defense will be good, not as amazing as Scott Rowland, and he doesn't have the power against lefties. So ultimately, that's what kept me from putting him up there. And Gavin Fiend, I have not used this card. I have not faced this card. I don't know nothing about this card other than his attributes against lefties look really solid. So continuing that trend of righty that matches lefties or switch hitters, which are A1 and 1A, 1B, and Chipper Jones and J-Ram. Honestly, whatever swing you enjoy the most is going to be the third baseman in the game for you. J-Ram, I started off amazing with him. I was very hot, was hitting like 450. I was mashing, hitting home runs, and then he cooled down. I had to move him down my lineup. Ultimately, I benched him for Chipper Jones. I've only played one game with Chipper Jones. He hit a home run, so I think I'm keeping Chipper Jones over him. But if you enjoy J-Ram more, defensively they're going to be about the same. Chipper Jones is taller and he has a better arm, so for some people they rather have a taller third baseman, but J-Ram has the speed and the higher fielding, pretty sure. Scott Rowland, shitty swing, you already know about that, but he matches lefties, and actually versus lefties he's very, very good, very underrated. It was just at the start of the year where there was like Dustin May, Nate Pearson, fucking Clement, so there was a lot of righty pitchers that could jam him. So he was not very usable. Right now, I think he is. But again, why would you use Scott Rowland when you can just use Chipper Jones or J-Ram? Chipper Jones is not even 10,000 stops, and he's arguably the best third baseman in the game. I think you're throwing if you don't have him on your lineup, honestly. Manny Machado, amazing, amazing stats. If you care about third base defense, then you're probably not going to use any of those bottom guys, in Machado and Caminero. Probably Alex Bregman. You think Alex Bregman is better than them, and that's totally fine. Like I said, this you have to be biased on when you're ranking on a game like this. That's extremely subjective. Caminero, amazing swing. I'm in love with this guy's swing. I'm hitting 1,000 versus lefties, and that's the only. I think I've only taken one of that against the righty, so I'm hitting like 800 with this card. He just matches lefties. He's perfect. I love this Jolt card series at the start of the year. I was mashing with that dude. I'm still mashing with this card. He's a DH, pinch hitter. You can use him at third. I really wouldn't run this card at second. Manny Machado, he has the swing and perfect stats, pretty much. We move on to shortstop. I have a couple honorable mentions here. I didn't include this Brooks Lee because his defense sucks even at P5. He's not valuable. He's super slow. He's not 6'4", and he doesn't have the best fielding or reactions. So he's here. Steel Hall, very underrated. Good, very good contact, and some decent power, and 99 speed, 99 steal with great defense. I think that's very valuable at a position like shortstop. I would much rather use this card than Bobby Witt, like for real. But the top five, Lindor. I think the fan club is one of the biggest fan clubs in the game. It's Lindor, a lot of fanboys, and I love him. I have him on my team. You will see my team at the end of the video. Eli Willits, kind of like a faster Willie Castro with a little bit less power, but he's still good. Only downside, no quirks. Same thing with Ethan Holiday, I believe. I just recently unlocked him like yesterday, so I didn't really even check the quirks. I'm only getting him because of the collection that we're getting on the 27th. So stay tuned for that. He's a lefty, but he's pretty much a left-handed Ketel Marte with better speed and better defense. At shortstop, he can play third too. So if you can hit lefty, he is going to be very solid for you. Willie Castro, he's still him. Like, power is a little low, but you cannot argue with against maxed out contact and clutch, and he has a good swing. I didn't really enjoy his card because I just didn't feel like he had enough power. I wasn't generating enough exit velo or launch angle with him. I know everybody rakes with him, but he was just for me. But he's still very, very good, and plus he was making a lot of fielding errors, like a lot. Eli De La Cruz, he's my starting shortstop, and he's great. His fielding, I know, looks sus, but trust me, it's live. He's 6'6", he's giant. He has 99 speed, 99 arm, so Even if he drops a ball, sometimes he gets, he bottles up a grounder. He still throws your opponent out, even if they have like 70 speed. So there's no worry about that. Obviously, his swing is not for everybody, but he has the stats. Like he beats everybody here on power except obviously Holiday, and he has the same stats. He power stats as Lindor. So he's very good, very very good. I really enjoy Ellie's card. We go on to left field, another position that's extremely weak. To a point where I stopped using Ted Williams. I cannot hit lefty. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not the best player, and I'm not claiming to be. So you will see my team at the end, and I'm not using this card anymore, which seems crazy, but I'm just not using him. On the field, he's actually amazing. I don't think he ever made an error for me. He's very fast, and he gets incredible jumps every single time. If you can tolerate lefty, he is amazing. Obviously, I don't expect a lot of people having him, so that's why I'm not going to talk about him anymore. Tim Raines, I feel like this is the budget guy's favorite left fielder. He has 99 speed. A lot of people will bun cheese with this card. He's great. He has. I'm not gonna say he's great. Well, he's great on the outfield. 99 speed, very good reaction. His power, he doesn't really have power. I don't really like his swing. I would much rather use the C&A. Like I tried that Tim Raines and left, and he was mid. Like I don't think he was great. He's very short too. I think he has a better swing, and I think he gets to the same. I don't think there's any ball that uh, Tim Raines gets that Ian Happ doesn't. So that's my opinion on that. I think he has better stats. Kyle Schwarber, I don't think he's a left fielder. You're definitely not gonna use this card on left. You're a psycho. But again, this against falls into if he doesn't catch two balls in the game, but he goes 2 for 4 with a home run, then you have to take it, right? Riley Green, very underrated card. I believe he has speed, and he's pretty much perfect against against righties. So again, how often are you going to really see a right-handed pitcher? But I really enjoy his swing. I think you can hit lefty with him. I know his stats don't really indicate that, but like for real, the swing really makes up for it. But again, left fielders it's a very weak position. Center field, obviously the last position where the player is just heads and shoulders above everybody else. Obviously Carlos Beltran, he's going to be your center fielder until MLB The Show 26. There's no question about that. How important switch hitting this year is, and with how shitty Mickey Mantle's swing is this year, I don't care if it's a 99 Mickey Mantle, he's not going to overthrow Beltran. Nobody's going to do that. Not even if we get a finest PCA, because he's not a switch hitter. That's just the reality of this year's game. Switch hitting trumps everything. Mickey Mantle, that swing, you can play him out of position on a corner outfield, and he's going to be fine. He has the speed. If you can tolerate his swing, he's very usable. He was like 60K a couple days ago. He skyrocketed over 100K again because of the Weekend Classic. But I think you can get him for like 80K. I think he's going to settle around 80K in a couple days when the Weekend Classic is over, and people, they already used him for the Weekend Classic. Kind of like when you get with a girl and after that you just throw her away. Byron Buxton, amazing swing. I know a lot of people. He has a big fanboy club again. Amazing swing, 80 speed. With his reaction is not ideal, but with those stats, especially if you're on like All-Star, I think there's no way you're wrong with this card. I really wouldn't play this card on the corner outfield. I think it's going to be terrible. So center fielder or DH for him, in my opinion. Obviously, not everybody has Beltran, so he's probably your center fielder. I think he's better than Mickey Mantle. I know I went on a rant about switch hitting trumps everything, but when Mantle doesn't have the swing, he just doesn't have the swing. Pete Crow Armstrong, amazing swing. I messed with his Easter card at the beginning of the year. He hits lefty lefty with no problem. So if you can't do that, he's another solid option. He's going to get to every ball that Beltran gets. 99 speed, 99 steal. The only problem is he's not too tall, so I think for that reason I think Beltran is better defensively, just because he's taller. And McCutcheon, a very underrated card. I think this card really didn't get to the shine that it deserves about of how good he is. I know the power is a little low, 80 against righties and 90s against lefties, so it's not great. But he can play the outfield. He's faster. Pretty sure he's faster than Buxton, and he has the contact. But I don't think there's many people that are going to use this guy. But he's still very good. He has that McCutcheon swing. And finally, right field. I have a couple honorable mentions. I say a couple, and I have 4 guys here. Ohtani DH. I wasn't going to make a top 5 DH video because primary position. I think pretty sure there's only like Harold Baines and Shohei Ohtani. But I wanted to include this card because some people just love his swing, and I totally get it. I really enjoy his live series card. But this card is going to be horrible in the outfield, so you're not going to play him for that reason. He doesn't make the top 5. Hank Aaron, interesting. If you can work with his swing, he's definitely in the top 5 for you. Kyle Tucker, very weird card, very balanced card, but 99 steal really fucked this card over. 50 speed, mediocre stats against both sides. He's just a very mid card. If you fuck with his swing, which I know a lot of people do, then you can give this guy a go. I don't think he's going to be terrible on the outfield, but he won't get to a lot of balls. Billy Williams, another guy that people just vibe with his swing a lot, and he has the speed, he has the contact, power is not bad, but lefty, it's not my cup of tea. You already know. Bryce Harper, Juan Soto, Lance Berkman, Aaron Judge, and Wencel Perez. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to try to guess who I think is the best right fielder in the game. Yes, you are correct. If you guessed Lance Berkman, he's still the man. I know his stats don't looking too great nowadays, but he's still the man. He can play first, he can play left and right. He's a switch hitter at the end of the day with great stats. He's been one of my best bats ever since I added him to my lineup. He's hitting over 400 consistently. Doesn't have the best power, doesn't hit for the best power, but he has the swing, and he's a switch hitter. On the field, on the corner, right field, he's going to play very good, very good. There's rarely a ball that gets over his head or he doesn't get to. He's very underrated. Soto, I really wouldn't play this guy on the outfield, but the bat, I cannot argue with the bat. Amazing stats. If you can get the Mets boost, even on tier 1, this card is insane. Aaron Judge, he's going to play better outfield defense than Soto, but the strike zone 6-7 I think he has a good swing. I don't think his swing is bad, but the strike zone, now that you're not facing lefties, I think you can play this guy on the outfield without even having to worry too much. But probably you platoon him with this Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper, still relevant. He has the swing. I know his stats don't look amazing, especially the power versus lefties, but he just has the swing, and he's going to be serviceable on the outfield for real. Wencel Perez, he only makes it here because he's a switch hitter, and right field is another position that there isn't many top end players. To be honest, this list definitely reflects that. He matches lefties. You're going to see a lot of lefties. Downside is very bad clutch, and if you get to face a righty, he is putrid. He is dog shit versus right-handed pitching. But other than that, he's going to be great. Only downside again, he's short, so he doesn't really get to a lot of balls. Some balls fly over his head, but I know his card says it has like 70 speed. That's a lie. He feels like he has 80 speed on the outfield at least. And so that's going to be it. And finally, we made it to the team reveal in 3, 2, 1. this is what I consider to be the best team in the game, or at least a variation of it. As you can see, I'm running an all switch hitting lineup. I think that's the meta. I have pretty much all the cards in the game, and I'm not starting Ted Williams anymore. There's just so many lefties out there, and like I already said a couple times in this video, I'm not the best player. I really have a hard time hitting lefty. So for that reason, he is on my bench. The only reason for me to run Ted Williams would be if I were to platoon him. Like, I'll just start Ted Williams, and if I'm facing a lefty, then I'll just pinch hit for him. But I don't think it's very smart to just burn a bench bat like that, especially early in the game. You just maybe don't know how good your opponent is yet. But so for that reason, I'm just running an all switch hitting lineup. Again, this year I haven't used him. I've been trying to find a left fielder. I just haven't been able to. So he's here for now. Again, this is not exactly what I consider to be the best team. It's just, the construction of the team is what I believe it's the best, and it's just running an all switch hitting lineup. You can even see Lindor out of position at first. He has 99 fielding out of position at first. He only goes down to a 79 fielding, so that's extremely useful. I've used this guy in like 10 online games so far, and he's only made one error on a green throw. He's actually scooped up a couple of yellow throws. So again, if you are going to rage because he drops one guaranteed out with anybody else that's as a secondary or a primary first baseman, you're going to rage at him for dropping one out of 20 balls, then I mean he's definitely not for you. But I will tell you, his bat definitely makes up for it. He's one of my best players. He's my second. I'm pretty sure he's batting second for me right now. I'm hitting like 360 with him, and he's hitting for insane power. I think he is the best first baseman. Obviously not primary. And you can also see that I don't want to be seen as a hypocrite, because I'm not running Cal Raleigh at catcher, and I went on a whole rant in 2 different videos now. But if I can have Santana at catcher, I will. Like, I'm not saying Cal Raleigh is the best defensive catcher or he's the best catcher, period. If I can have a better defensive catcher, I will, but it's not necessary. Okay, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. Chipper Jones, I was using him, but I already mentioned it. I was using J-Ram, just fell in a slump, so I'm using Chipper now. But honestly, you can use any switcher that you want. There's also, Willie Castro, I know everybody enjoys him. There's also Brooks Lee. There's the Wenzel Perez card. I wouldn't really recommend using Terry Pendleton, but he's still an option. Obviously, Ali Rushman, Veritek, and all the other switch hitting catchers that we have. Posada, very outdated, but some people really vibe with his swing. If you're one of those people, you can still run him. But again, on higher difficulties, I think you're going to really have a hard time. But anyways, this is what I consider to be the best team. Let's talk about a little bit about pitching now. And I hate to break it down for you, but I won't be talking about pitchers today. The only thing I will mention real quick is John Donaldson is the best starter and Felix Bautista is the best reliever in the game. I didn't want this to be an extremely long video. This is going to be already like 30 minutes. And I can talk about pitchers for an hour. They're extremely hard to rank, extremely subjective. You have to consider like 1,000 things when you're evaluating a pitcher in this game. Extremely subjective, too many different variables. I just didn't want to sit through all that. But if you guys really want to see that, if this video reaches 2 comments asking for the pitchers tier list, I will do that. I will release it. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like if you found it useful. If you won a game because of this video on the Weekend Classic, let me know in the comment section down below. If you're new around here, consider subscribing for more MLB The Show content in the future. Until then, I'll catch you later.